Can't cancel it from here. Is there somewhere else you have to go to cancel a flight? Okay, there's a flight. There we go. Problem solved. Alright. Got all that. Now let's see if it will... Yep. Now all is good. Yeah, sometimes the UI design of the FSE website could be better. Not bad. But there's some lack of consistency. Sorry, I just spent 4 hours in a meeting on Friday discussing that. Well, not FsEconomy, but UI optimizations for a project I'm working on for work. Alright. Now, I should check in with air traffic control, but air traffic control in X-Plane 10 just is absolutely horrendous. So, I'm going to find the button over here on the keyboard. And there, we're pretty well good to go. It still has. Alright, I'll download that one there, the Lua script here. There we go. Do you want to so 118.5 should probably get what we need. As the alternate. I do believe there is a, let's see here. A little bit of time acceleration here. ETE 27 minutes at 3x, so about 9 minutes. Oh, that's not too bad. Admire the auto-generated terrain. Adjust our heading slightly here. Believe that I have, no, I have the Python interface. I need to download the Flying with Lua plugin. I believe that's a prerequisite for those plugins. But everyone says you need Flying with Lua. At any rate. Yeah, right now I just have the Python interface installed. Oh, I will. I've got those bookmarked on my laptop. I will be downloading those and installing them. Oh, probably sometime this afternoon, this evening. That reminds me, I need to download I think it's XSplit or Xcaster or something like that, and try it out as opposed to Shadowplay. In particular, I was trying to stream some Project Reality, and as soon as I turned on the Twitch feed, my frame rate shot to crap, or I should say, I started getting lag spikes. I went from 30 millisecond ping to 130 millisecond ping. I have OBS as well, but a couple of things that I don't think has made it into OBS yet compared to Xcaster or whatnot is the ability to where I don't have to necessarily have my head turned on or using two different computers or using my iPad. Text can be displayed from the Twitch chat on screen, which isn't necessarily necessary for this portion, but if I record the sessions and say export to YouTube or something like that, it might be handy for people to only get one side, or instead of getting just one side of the conversation. Plus, I think it gives you, I don't know, follower notification. I guess subscriber if you did the subscriber thingy, but I don't really care about that. I think one's the paid for or whatever, and the other one's just people freely following you. Oh, you can? I have to... Yeah, I've got to play with the OBS settings. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow morning. Or later this evening. Because I had OBS set up and working okay at one point in time, then I downloaded an updated version and was playing around with settings and trying to get a little bit higher resolution. Those folks were complaining it was a little bit potato cammy, and I made it worse, or something got really screwed up. But I'll say with my internet connection, I have a 215 connection. It's a business internet connection, so even though I'm in a residential neighborhood, I get packet prioritization over the local last mile, which is kind of nice. But 15 megabytes per second upload should be totally sufficient for this. I'll have to look into setting that up with the Twitch API and stuff in OBS. Again, I haven't really explored those options. Went with Shadowplay because Shadowplay was quick, easy, simple, does its job. Of course, we'd be flying 315 or taking off from Pickneyville, not Litchfield. Dar. First, whenever it's like 315, I'm like, wait a minute, shouldn't we be flying Southwest? No, gotta remember where we're taking off from. That is one thing that I don't particularly like about X-Plane is, for whatever reason, I just don't seem to have a sense of direction as I do with FSX. Granted, if I'm flying around Missouri, I have photorealistic textures, so I'm kind of seeing what I'm more or less used to seeing if I'm actually flying a Cessna in the real world. Yeah, okay, so 4 megabytes per second. Yeah, 15 megabytes upload should be totally sufficient then. Although, to be honest, I pay $100 a month for internet, and I'm not exactly... I can't complain too much. We have charter business. Being in St. Louis, it's charter. And really, I have very few complaints. I know a few years ago when Netflix started doing their ratings, I'm getting weather update, probably. Anyway, when Netflix did their rankings, Charter just didn't interfere with them at all. And as it stands right now, I can be playing bandwidth-intensive games, streaming, doing whatever I want, and my wife can be watching Amazon Prime and surfing the internet, and we have no noticeable service degradation. Oh, megabits. You know, there's some parts of the U.S. That have speeds and prices that good, where they put in municipal broadband, which is something that we missed the boat on here. Now, I think that's their rendering of downtown St. Louis, and compared to FSX, it's just absolutely pitiful. I mean, there's no arch. It's just generic kind of skyscraper buildings. And, I mean, I can tell exactly where everything is. It's, that's the downtown area. Those cluster of buildings just beyond it is, I'll think of the name of the town. Clayton. Alright. Alright, so... there's Lambert St. Louis Airport. Guess I should. I don't want to file flight plan, so... was it? What was the other one? Oh, 0.05. I always want to say it's 0.5, but it's 0.05. Oh. I have to admit, that does... frustrate me slightly. And I should be doing tower calls and all that good stuff, but the air traffic control is just bad. I don't know how else to put it in X-Plane. I hope in 10.4 that the revised nope. Yeah, fortunately there's no simulated AI traffic. That's supposed to be representative of Clayton over there, I think. Really? And the camera in FSX, or in X-Plane with Track IR. See? Hey, I'm back in the passenger seat. Be a little bit of fun. So this will be runway 30 left, because I don't feel like flying into 1129, which ironically enough is in FSX. That's the runway the AI ATC gives me more often than not, and it's the runway that nobody ever uses at Lambert, because it's the farthest from the terminal. Therefore it takes more taxi time, more fuel. And back when we had 30 million passengers a year going through here, I could somewhat understand it. Actually, this isn't the runway I would be using. Most of the time, if you're going to be flying to Lambert in a general aviation, they'll send you on 32 or 30 right. It's a little bit shorter runway. This is the 11,000-foot runway. That was designed for L-1011s and 747s. Yes, we had both of those. Outer marker. Now, I did download this airport from the database, and they got the terminals kind of right, mostly right, but it's missing the iconic Lambert terminal arches, for lack of a better term. Which this goes into things I like about X-Plane and things I don't. One of the things I do like, though, is if we land here on the runway actually matches the curvature of the terrain. And if you ever sit on the actual, this is what, 12 right, or 12 left, 30 right. If you sit on that runway and look out, that's exactly what it looks like. I-270 interchange. Or, I'm sorry, that's probably 170, not 270. Yep, coming in a little fast, but I mean, once we pitch up, we'll lose 30, 40 knots of speed very, very quickly. Not too concerned. And we have plenty of runway. Well, these are technically the gates. Ozark Air flies. This is supposed to be the east terminal over here, where Southwest flies out of. Yeah, even the control tower is wrong. I mean, that looks like the old control tower, not the new one. I say new, I think the new one's been there for 30 years. But it looks like the old Air National Guard tower. But the EAS service Cape Air flies basically into right there. There's a couple of terminals. Actually, I don't know. I think they maybe not. I think they may have decommissioned Concourse D after we got dehubbed. I've never really taken a good look, so I'm taking a good look at the Cape Air has, I think, a gate. I believe it's this gate right here. Which is a Essential Air Services flight from, well, Cape Girardeau, actually. Operated by Cape Air. They fly Cessna 402, so that should be FsEconomy, finish flight. Still 20 gallons of fuel on board. Total flight time 41 minutes. So 3 Litchfield passengers. We'll go ahead and set up our pre-flight here. Yes. Enter at. Okay. Lima. Litchfield. There we go. Enter. Accept. And X-Plane still doesn't have, yeah, hopefully will. Take care. Yeah, squawking 1200 is standard if you're flying VFR, but it's going to be 4700 and X-Plane, even if you do file an official flight plan with the game. It likes 4700 for some reason. Alright. Oh, everything else here looks good. Direct. Alright. Yep, there we go. Yes. Oh. Go throttle. Set trim, maybe. There we go, set trim for takeoff. Down for takeoff. I think I'm going to taxi to 624 and then take 624 to and take off from runway 6. Where's it, runway 24? Just mainly because I never have. FSX nor X-Plane has ever given me runway. Yeah, these aren't gates. This should be the National Guard, or the old National Guard base. We lost that too in 2006. We used to have a squadron of F-15s here. I think the F-15s went up to Montana's Air National Guard unit. And the 131st Fighter Group was reorganized as the 131st Bomb Group, operating out of Whiteman Air Force Base in Kansas City, or near Kansas City. It was a sad day, and recently, in the last, well, few months actually, they finally dismantled the old F-100 and F-4 that they had setting out old aircraft the 131st used to fly, and moved them to Whiteman, to the new facility, the aircraft that were outside on the pedestal. So it's been demilitarized. I think the building still says Missouri Air National Guard. Yep, runway 6. As I said, I've never flown on this runway in my life, in the real world and virtual worlds. Although it's a north-south runway and only gets used if there's or should only get used if there's massive crosswinds. Although I can tell when they are using it, because then the 737s are flying right over our house. I think we're directly over the approach to 624. So yeah, we spent $1 billion, or the city or whoever spent $1 billion building runway 1129, and it never gets used. I take that back. Well, we were originally slated to take off from 1129 once, but the aircraft had avionics problems, so by the time they got it resolved, they redirected us to runway 12 right. Take off on. Go ahead and fly out runway heading. I can't flip back a screen here. I'm not as big a fan of that. Up, and we'll be flying at an altitude of 3,500 under VFR rules. Hello. Yeah, I haven't been looking at chat for the last couple of minutes. Hello, the Battle Ostrich. G2 X-Plane. Will to X-Plane works. I'll have to take a look at that. Explore a little bit more of the options when it comes to X-Plane. I frankly have FSX set up to where I like it, or stuff like that goes. So 23 minutes. Hard for me to read if that was 23 or 29, but it's 23. Oh. You know what? You might be right. I may have it set to where people can't post the links. I'm gonna go... I'll double check those settings on Twitch. Actually... I can do that. Oh, somewhere on here. Broadcast. Okay, you should be able to post links now. Burr. Hi, Burr. Alright. Yeah, X-Plane has kind of... I'll say, a lot of people complain in the FS and Microsoft FSX community that if you go back and look at FS, say 8, 9, prior to FSX, that there's a lot of free community-generated stuff out there, and then people started figuring out, oh, you can charge money for, quote, their hobbies. Which, I mean, frankly, if you look at the detail of something like a Coronado, and especially of a PDMG aircraft, you know, that takes a lot of time, effort, and, you know, if somebody wants a few dollars for their time and effort to produce those aircraft and those cockpits, I have no problem spending money on it, as well as many other worthwhile upgrades. I don't really have the problem with the payware that's crept into FSX, but X-Plane is very much in a place that FSX was about 15, 18 years ago, or Microsoft Flight Simulator, I should say, as far as a lot of it is community generated. freeware tools. A lot of people aren't necessarily charging. I mean, some of the FSX free or payware has started to creep in, but nowhere near as prevalent as what it is in Microsoft Flight Simulator. Again, if somebody makes worthwhile things, I don't mind spending 30, 40 bucks here and there. I mean, it starts to add up over time, but, you know, again, I have, like, several Coronado aircraft. A few of them I've bought in the Steam edition on, you know, Steam sales 50% off, what have you, but it's like I have the B1900, I have Virtual Pool Dash 8 series, and for the amount of entertainment value, I mean, wife and I went and saw a movie over the weekend, and, you know, we spent, between food and movie tickets, you know, probably close to $30 a person, and for a 90-minute movie, you know, so I get a couple flights in with a $40 cockpit, and I've got my entertainment value out of it. Okay, I'll have to take a look. Yeah, I can understand X-Plane's point on that, and it's a reason why I switched to X-Plane probably around 2004, 2005. At that point, I thought it delivered a superior, I don't necessarily want to say performance, but a superior flight experience to the Microsoft Flight Simulators. Again, at the same time, I do kind of like, oh, should be flying at 3,500, not 2,800. I guess this aircraft doesn't have a, not an altitude, but a, vertical speed hold. And 052. Oh. Nope, can't PM me the link. Okay, I'll take a look at HD Mesh and G2 X-Plane. Now, I have done a lot of freeware upgrades to my FSX when it comes to the auto-generated scenery. There's a bunch of textures out there by an Amy LaCroix. I'm probably butchering that last name. I believe it is French. And I think she has done phenomenal texture jobs for the default auto-generated scenery. I mean, I picked it up, all the stuff from her website, and installed it. It did take kind of a while to download and install and get it all there. But it looked so good that I was just like, you know, I don't see a point in buying Orbix at this time. And then I picked up the Mega Earth Scenery Pack for Missouri during the Memorial Day half-off sale. And I may pick up Illinois. I do a lot of flying into Illinois in these flight sims and stuff. At some point, if I ever find it on sale again for 20 bucks. But probably for FSX, the next big thing that I want to get is Oh, ground surface is X. That is one thing that X-Plane doesn't have, that when it comes to flying the larger aircraft. I think somebody's created a script that does it, kind of, with Lua again, but that's pushbacks. You know, actually I probably could. I probably should do that. We've been around. Hey, the joys of this. Dashboard. Yeah, moderators. No, don't do that. Channel. Somewhere around here tells me where I can set users as moderators, I think. User, timeout user, ban user. Probably should go ahead and follow you. Oh, let's see here. No, that doesn't do anything I want it to do. Oh, I did add as moderator. Really? It is IRC based? I didn't know that. I would have thought that... There we go. Yep. Ooh. I am now the... Wow, and here I kind of thought IRC was a dying protocol. Okay, yeah. Oh, I've seen the, Oh, I think we're getting a weather update. Yeah, I've seen the flying, or the JSIM 738, I think it is. Okay, so we are... Procedures. Vectors. Activate, enter. All right. Easterly direction here. Time to turn back on track IR. We are close. I need to turn off some of the air balloons here. There's just way too many of them. Okay, there's the airport. Watch out, deer. Smack. Hey, but you car? Car? Really? Car? The street going through middle of runway? Okay. So, apparently there's a road going through the middle of the runway. That's kind of interesting. Yeah, I know you need to watch for traffic on the runway, but, you know, a Subaru Impreza's not exactly what I had in mind. Fortunately, X-Plane doesn't model collisions with deer. Alright, plugins, FsEconomy, open FsEconomy, finish flight. Still 16 gallons of fuel on board. So we've used, I believe, about 10 gallons. And now we are back to St. Louis. So we'll go ahead and program. Yes. Okay. Kirkwall. Interesting. I have flown in. I found a new Kirk airport that I'm going to have to fly into at some point. Kirkwall in the UK. I sense a international flight coming into picture some point in the near future. There we go. I guess it would be quicker to go this way. So 233. That's set. That is set. Time to turn back on track IR. Nope. Set trim for takeoff. Flaps are down. And probably helps if we put in the mixture. Again, not expecting four-door sedan going through the middle of the runway. You know, I know about having to wait for traffic on the runway, but I don't think that this is exactly what they had in mind. Okay, we're gonna go after this car and before the deer herd. What are those, Volvo station wagons? Or crossovers? Well, runway heading. No. back to St. Louis. Yeah, I know. For UK, it's what? G? C. No, wait, C's Canada. I think it's G. Yeah, I'll say it's a bug, but now I'm going to look up Kirkwall and figure out what kind of airport it is and stuff, and see what we can fly in there, because, hey, going from Kirksville to Kirkswall? Yeah, I don't know, that sounds like a flight I should undertake with Twitchy World Airlines, which reminds me I need to, at some point, probably again later today or tomorrow, I need to update graphics for YouTube and Twitch stream and bunch of stuff, so I need to break out GIMP or Paint.net and see what I can do. Although I think I have a Photoshop CS2. However, if it's for Macintosh, it was for PowerPC Deck, and that won't work anymore. I should have kept my old G5 tower around for no other reason for when stuff like that came up. Or maybe I should scour Craigslist for somebody selling a G5 tower. For a couple bucks. Try to pick one up. Just so I can use Photoshop. Yeah, I have GIMP, and then I have Paint.net. The problem is, GIMP doesn't always read PSDs all that well, depending on the version it was saved in. But I do have the paint kits for 737 and a couple other aircraft that I need to work on some liveries for. Unfortunately, I am no artiste. Minutes. We're not even on time acceleration. I can make it less. Only 3x. I mean, only 32 gigs of RAM now. I guess quad-core Xenon, 3.4 gigahertz, and 970 is just not fast enough these days. As soon as we're done with this flight, if you've got a couple of minutes, I'm going to fire up OBS, and let's see if we can't run through and get OBS up and running. If you got a few minutes after this, Leos. Oh no, that's interesting. I wonder what that is. Fire? Steam locomotive? Car racing down a dirt road? Wall cloud? Ah, yes I do. However, not on this machine. Gosh, it's been... Well, probably sometime after Microsoft bought Skype, it became problematic to use it for conference calls, and everybody I know switched to Google Hangouts in order to do conference calls. Where's Smokey the Bear? Only you can prevent forest fires. Yeah, I have TeamSpeak. That's the TS server information. I'll log in here momentarily. Oh, yep, I know you're there. Hold on a second. Settings, options. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was making sure it wasn't set up to use my HOTAS button. I'm like, that might be a problem. Wow, I didn't... And I'm coming up on the airport here. select approach, enter. Enter. Vectors. Activate. Yeah. About to say, should be on the ground here in about 2 minutes. And we can set up OBS. Yeah, I used to know a lot about bit rates and data streaming and all that crap. First job out of college was about the time that a lot of smaller video editors and stuff, people who shot like wedding videos, were going from stuff like cron editing decks to Final Cut or Premiere. And I worked for a IT shop consultancy that catered to those people. And the transition from standard def to high def. Oh, hey, I think we actually have a time machine here. We're going into the future. This is what Ferguson's going to look like after Emerson buys out all of the property around it and expands their campus. Oh, and there's a train. Yeah, I just noticed there's a train going by. Hey, at least the train's not going through the airport. Still, it's entertaining. To be going through there and be like, I know there's supposed to be traffic on the runway, or you're supposed to watch for traffic on the runway, but that's not what they mean. Yeah, I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen in 10.4. That and the ATC is not supposed to be quite as retarded. Oh, they didn't. I swear, I see more. I gotta turn down the number of hot air balloons this thing generates. I'm like, I've seen... I'll get to general aviation parking for Lambert, kind of, sort of. Max Plane scenery. No, go ahead. That's going to be like me trying to fly the DC-6 into Kirksville Regional in FSX. That plane, you can land it, and it can take off. Barely. Yeah, there's something there in me thinks would not be quite right. Oh hey, they even got a Coke machine.